Alright students, girls and boys, ladies and gentlemen, a very special good evening to everyone. We welcome you all at day 20 of our full stack web development series. Okay, it seemed as if yesterday we have started up with day 1 and we have reached up till day 20. Time indeed flies. Okay, fine. Alright, before we could go ahead, a quick acknowledgement from your end. Audibility, visibility, all clear and set to go ahead. Okay, it seemed as if yesterday we had started. Alright. Fine. Good evening everyone, students. Good evening everyone who have put up here in the chat section. Good evening Rakesh. Good evening Naveen. Alright, fine. Without wasting our time, let's get quick to have our hands dirty with coding. Okay, fine. First of all, let's have a quick recap of what we have learned in the class last time. People, I hope I'm clear. Am I right? I'm audible to you? Since we did not receive any such acknowledgement message in the chat section. Alright, we'll go ahead. Fine. People, the class last time, it was part 2 of the loops. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Fine. And I think we spent a quality time understanding an algebraic progression series called as Fibonacci series. Okay, what's the status at your end? Like, are you practicing back at home? Are you taking up some assignment questions for self-practice and coming up into some hurdle to frame the logic? Audible. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. In fact, I had shared with you some question for the self-practice, like how was the weekend at your end? Like you are comfortable working with loops because you have to get quite familiar dealing with the loops. One more time, I would like to put up the point in front of you. In fact, a more than 30-40% code of any application of or of any project consists of coding, or let me say looping. I have done all the assignment. It's so great to know that, Rakesh. Very good. Alright, if you have done all the assignment, when I do it today, correct me in case if some of the logic goes wrong, or if you have a logic better than what we are coding, please come up with. Alright, fine. Okay, let me start writing this for loops one by one. Let's see how many programs we can complete. Then I shall also give you some other a little standard, or let me say above standard practice questions for the assignment. Alright, good. So here we go. Today we start with the first program to find out whether entered number by the user is a prime number or not. Okay, now listen to me, one thing very clear. Okay, done assignments. Clear, good. Then you did not post me this time. Those who said that we have done assignments, some of them used to post me on a personal chat. They skipped to do it. Anyways, it's okay. Very soon we are going to come up with an assignment community on WhatsApp. So please hold on till that time. Is that okay? One thing I forgot to put into recap, which we also discussed last time, that was the concept of break keyword in JavaScript. Am I right? A break keyword which was like an emergency exit from the remaining part of the loop, or for loop or while loop. Okay, we also learned the concept of while loop along with its syntax. Am I right? While loop, while declaration accepts only the condition. Otherwise, initialization of the counter variable must happen before the loop start. And incrementation or decrementation of the counter variable must happen somewhere inside the while loop. Done. Okay, fine. Out of many differences between for and while, the one which we discussed thoroughly was, well, when we are not aware of how many number of iterations a particular loop block is going to take. Am I right? When we are not sure, we are unsure, we are not confident, we ideally make use of while loop. Is that fine? Okay, so here we go, without wasting our time anymore. Here we go. Okay, if you don't mind, I'm working in the same folder. That's day 19, and quickly I create two files. One is day 20, program 1, which is an HTML file. Day 20 program 2, it's a JavaScript file. Good, thank you. What happened? Okay, alright, fine. Completing the remaining formalities here. Most probably from tomorrow, before the class start, I will keep even this part done. That means creating of the files, because we all are very used to it. Just changing title, even that is not mandatory. And including my script file, which is day 20 program 2.js. Okay. I assume this will work all very well. I just click to go live and let my port start behind, my server start behind by the time I go to JavaScript. Okay, let me code a function called as prime. Just to remind you, a number is prime if it is divisible only by itself. Am I right? Like 3 is a prime number because 3 is not divisible by any other number than 3. 8 is again not a prime number because 8 is divisible by 2, 8 is divisible by 4. Am I? Just to start with the coding, what I do, I declare a variable no and hard code the number 7 in it. Okay, आपको ऐसे नहीं करना है. You aren't going to do like this. You are going to take input from user, either using the JavaScript prompt box or using HTML text boxes. Okay, especially my friends who are new to coding, who are coming here from IT, non-IT backgrounds, make sure these concepts you are getting very clear. Okay, understanding loop, coding loop, putting loops into practice in our regular program actually require a lot of decent and consistent practice, right? So as I guided you last time, make a habit, like throughout, make a habit coding at least one program a day. One program a day, bhai mujhe har din code karna hi hai. Finish. Right? Chale, so let me hard code a number 7 in this variable no. Again, I have no reason behind why I'm not writing where, why I'm not writing let. Okay, you want to work with let no equals 7. As of now, I'm not interested in the scopes of the variable at all. Is it okay? Right, the scopes of the variable, I'm not as of now interested. Take it. Fine. So, for, let me make use of for loop. Let me take a variable I, but I start I from 2, not from 1. Let me give you the reason why. Okay, let me give you the reason why. Okay, let me use the notepad here. Sorry for that. Notepad. Okay, pay attention. See, if the number is 7, how to check while coding a number is a prime or not? We have to start dividing 7 from other numbers. But I won't start dividing 7 from 1 because any number is always divisible by 1, correct? I repeat one more time, never try to test divisibility by 1 because divisibility by 1 is true for all the integers. Every number is divisible by 1. So loop में 1 check करना ही नहीं. Instead, start testing divisibility of 7 from 2. Is 7 divisible by 2? Answer is no. Am I right? Or let me say, is 7 divisible by 3? Answer is again no. 7 divisible by 4? Answer is again no. 7 divisible by 5? Answer is again no. 7 divisible by 6? Answer is again no. When I say divisible by means, after dividing, remainder should be 0. Right? Is 7 divisible by 7? Of course yes. Of course yes. But we will keep this part. That means 7 divisible by 1 and 7 divisible by 7 out. Okay, so let me write here yes. and let me keep a flag here, keep them out. Okay, keep out, as well as here keep out. Is it right? Let me not explain you one more time why to keep out. अरे भाई हर नंबर 1 से और अपने आप से डिविजिबल होता है. So if it is 7 is divisible by 7 doesn't mean it's prime or not prime, correct? Fine. The decision whether 7 is prime or not will be taken by other numbers between 2 to 7 minus 1, that is 6. Am I right? Similarly, whether 9 is a prime number or not, start dividing 9 or start testing divisibility of 9 from 2 till 8. I hope you got my point. Is that okay? Similarly, 11 is a prime number or not? तो check the divisibility of 11 not from 1. 1 से तो divisible हो जाएगा. From 2 till 10. I hope you got my point. So now tell me how to frame the loop. अब loop कैसे बनेगा? So starting from I equal to 2, I less than equal to, there are two ways of writing now, less than equals to either NO minus 1, because if NO is 7, NO minus 1, that means 7 minus 1 will make it 6. And if you do not want to do this minus 1 plus 1 वाला लफड़ा, आपको ये सब झमेले में नहीं पड़ना है, तो कोई बात नहीं. Remove equal to from here. It will automatically run till 6, correct? I hope you got my point. People, please keep writing yes or no in the chat section. It's very important for us to know you are understanding or not. You got my point? हमारे लिए जानना बहुत जरूरी है. आप समझ रहे हो कि नहीं? Even if you're not understanding, say no. Okay? Only then we would be in a state to take a decision whether to repeat or not. Please. That's very, very helpful. Wasim, Rakesh, Naveen. Good. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, so choice is yours. We want to run loop less than 1 of that number from that number. So you write I less than NO because it will automatically go till 6. Then it becomes 7. 7 will not be less than 7. Correct? Yes, good. Fine. So that's your choice. And then I plus plus. Okay, now let me tell you one thing. How many people write the program of a prime number? Maximum people. कैसे लिखते हैं देखिए, and why it is wrong. So suppose let me write like this. If NO, now we know NO is constant throughout the loop, that means number तो 7 ही रहेगा. We are checking 7 is prime or not, correct or not? You check my example in this notepad file also in the dry run. In each of this divisibility 7 7 7 7 7 numerator was constant. The only fellow who was changing was the denominator. We started dividing 7 from 2. 2 became 3. Denominator from 3 became 4. Denominator from 4 became 5. Denominator from 5 became 6. Correct? So, let me say if number divided by I. Am I right? This is what is the benefit of loop. Like if I keeps, the value of I keep changing in every iteration, definitely this formula will also take different values of I in each iteration, correct? So number divided by I, if it is equal to 0, that means number is divisible by I. And I said document.write not prime. Am I right? Else document.write prime. Hold on. For the people who are figuring out a lot of flaws in this code, hold on, I'm coming to your point. I told you how many people write the program of prime number, find it out or not. Am I right? अगर I से वो number divide हो गया, मतलब वो prime नहीं है, because prime number is not divisible by any number other than the number itself. But on dividing by I, like starting from 2 or 3 or 4, on dividing by I, if the remainder happens to be 0, तो भाई बोल दीजिए it is not prime. Otherwise it is prime. ठीक है? Alright. Let's see. So let me call this function first of all. because this is a function definition and this is a function call. I save this. I come back to my page. Okay, I do one thing, please. I do one thing. Here I give a break. And here also. Am I right? Here also I give a break. It's good practice if you end a statement by semicolon, although it's not mandatory, but it's essential. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now tell me why it told me it is a prime number 5 times, because we are running in the loop 5 times. Am I right? Starting from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Correct or not? Now what is my objection here? Why to tell him 5 times 7 is not a prime? We should write only once. Yes, 7 is prime. Is that correct? Fine. I gave you another example. See how does it happen. Suppose if I change the number, I make it 9. How dramatic, let me say, how drastic would be the effect now? The number is prime. You see what happens? 9. Sorry, not prime. The number is 9. So it first says number is prime. Then it says number is not prime. Then it says again prime. So what should I consider? Should I consider 9 as a prime, or should I consider 9 as not prime? Am I right? Give me the dry run. What must have happened? Come on, give me the dry run. The number this time is 9. Start dividing 9 from 2. Is 9 divisible by 2? No. Is 9 divisible by 3? Yes. Is 9 divisible by 4? No. But guys, I don't understand one thing. Listen to me carefully. I don't understand one thing. If 9 was divisible by 3, what is the need to check 9 is divisible by 4, 9 is divisible by 5, 6, 7, 8. Am I right? There is absolutely no need to check whether 9 is divisible by 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because even if it is divisible by any one number between the range or within the range, you should come out of the loop and say it is not a prime number. Correct or not? Take an example of 10. If you start dividing 10 from 2 to 9, so 10 is divisible by 2, 10 is divisible by 5. But when 10 is divisible by 2, what is the need to check 10 is divisible by 5 also or not? Even if it is divisible by any number between 2 to 9, it is not a prime number. Is that correct? कोई एक भी number से बीच में divide हो गया, that means it's clear it's not a prime number. Moral of the story, we need the use of hero of the movie, that is break. Is that correct? Correct, break. I think people have written there in the chat section. If you find the number is divisible by any number, no need to go ahead and check other numbers divisibility also. Straight away take a break and come out, right? Fine. Now what I do, look, I take a simple variable here called as flag, and I set flag to 0. Okay, I gave the name of this variable as flag. You want, you can give any other name like I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Flag before entering in the loop is 0. Got it? Now what I do is I get rid of this part. Let me cut and paste. Cut it. Okay, I don't want this else part also. Okay, if number is divisible by I inside the loop, come on, I hope till here it is clear. We are starting loop from 2 until it is less than the number, correct? If you find that number is divisible by any number, that counter variable has taken the value of, am I right? Immediately change that flag to 1. Break and come out. You understood? I need to take help of this variable. Otherwise, how will we come to know whether break diya tha ke nahi? You got my point? I repeat the logic one more time. See, if the number is divisible by any other number, then just change this flag to 1. It's like, raising an emergency signal. or giving an alarm signal. Alarm baja do bhai, emergency bell baja do. If the number is divisible, change the value of the flag to 1, break and come out of the loop. That means we have come out of this loop. You understood? It's time for me now to check. Come on, it's time for me to check if flag is equal to 1. Are you getting my point? Because if flag is 1, that means internally the number might have been divisible by some other number, correct? इसीलिए तो वो 1 change हुआ होगा. Otherwise, how this flag would change to 1 from 0 automatically, correct or not? But if the value of flag is 1 right now, that means one thing is very clear. The number is divisible by some other number, and I should write it is not prime. Correct? Else. What do you mean by else? Come on, else. That means if the flag is not 1. Correct? If the flag is not 1. So in that case, document.write it is prime. Out of many logic available, this is one way. I can't say this is the only method of finding prime or not. This is a better logic. Is that clear? Fine. So if value of the flag is 1, that means it was internally divisible by some number inside. Else, that means if it is not 1, that means it still continues to remain 0. The flag is still 0 even after coming out from the loop. That means हमारा number किसी भी number से divisible हुआ होगा ही नहीं. That's the reason flag did not update itself, correct? So prime. Okay, let's see whether this logic works or not as per the way we desire. I save this. I come here. Okay, it says 9 is not prime. I hard code some other number. Come on, instead of 9, I write the number as 39. Okay, we know 39 is divisible by 3, correct? It is divisible by 13 also, 1, 3, 13. That means it is again not a prime number. Okay, so not prime. Okay, you can write like this as well in your document. That means NO, number is not prime. Or number is prime. Correct? Either the number is not prime, number is not prime. Do you really want me to make the white color here? Saikiran, do you really want me to make the screen color white? I think this is, well, it works okay, if you don't mind. Some of them will be confused if I change it to white. Alright, fine. Okay, take care. Shall wait for your acknowledgement. If you are finding difficult for a black screen, I'll go to setting and change the color back to white. Okay, anyways, let's come back here. 39 is not prime. No. Okay, take care. Alright, fine. Lastly, to check, let's check 17, people. Lastly, 17. 1770. Okay, 17 is prime. So this is what is an expected output. Yes, it feels like coding. Alright, everybody. Acha, now I share one of my logic to you. Check it out. What did I tell you here? Come on, let me see how many of you quickly understand. To check 9 is prime or not, we have to start testing divisibility of 9 from 2 till 8, right? Similarly, to check 45 is prime number or not, we have to check the divisibility of 45 from what most people find, what many people think, 2 to 44, correct? But ideally what happens is, the greatest common factor of any number is always half of the number. Okay, always half of the number. Now what is the meaning of that? Let me tell you. Say you don't have to even go till number -1. Say the number is 10 and you think I have to check the divisibility from 2 to 9. No, that's fine, because you see the factors of 10. 10 is divisible by 2, I'm writing the factors here in the bracket, and 10 is divisible by 5. After 5, the number 10 is divisible directly by 10 itself, correct? So that's what I want to say. The highest factor will be always half of the number. Correct? So you don't have to check 10 is divisible by 6, 7, 8 or 9 also. Correct or not? Right? I don't know how many of you are actually understanding. Take an example of 12. 12 is divisible by 2, 12 is divisible by 3, 12 is divisible by 4, 12 is divisible by 6. But after 6, 12 is not divisible by 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It is divisible directly by 12. Is that correct? So, you don't have to really check 12 from 2 to 11. In fact, even if you check 12 ka divisibility from 2 to 6, that is half of the number, it's even fine. Yes, Bharat, you're right. N divided by 2. That's what I want to say. Is that okay? Understood, ma'am. Good. N divided by 2. It's a little high-end logic. N divided by 2. And if you are little more particular in N divided by 2, then take a floor value or a ceiling value. Is it right? For example, if the number is 7, and if I say N divided by 2, it comes 3.5. And you want to be on a safer side, so take a ceiling value. That means start from 2 till 4. Is it okay? Good. Got it, ma'am. Thank you very much, all of us. Okay, those who have done this question in the assignment, implement this logic and do it again. Is it right? So what do you want to say? आप क्या बोलना चाहते हैं? If the number is 100, and to check whether 100 is prime or not, even by introducing break, why should I run the number divisibility from 2 to 99? Is that clear? Fine. We make sure that the loop is run only half its way. Got it. Thank you very much. Alright, fine. Okay, so if this was all about the prime number and many of you have understood, let's go to see how to find reverse of a number. Okay, this logic is a bit lengthier. ये थोड़ा सा बड़ा जाएगा. So let me start this way. First, let me do the rough work. It will take approx around 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, so this is the logic for a reverse of the number. Okay, my friends who say we have done the assignment, what about reverse of the number? Even that was done too? Would be glad if it answer is yes. Good. Alright. Okay, let's take a number as 5, 7, 2, 9. Okay, what is an expected output? Expected output. Come on, reverse is going to be 9275. This is the reverse of the number, correct? Fine. Now people, before we do reverse, we have to understand few things. Okay, आपको छोटी छोटी कुछ बातें समझनी होंगी यहाँ पे. Number 1, if you divide any number by 10, remainder is always the last digit. Is it okay? That means when I say divide means I'm asking you to take the mod of modulus, right? For example, 5729, if I divide by 10, I hope you all have remembered modulus checks for the remainder. Any of our friends who are watching us live or non-live for the first time today, percentage sign, it's an arithmetic operator of JavaScript that checks for the remainder. If I divide 5729 by 10, the remainder is going to be 9. Is that okay? I hope you understand how. Okay, because 10 into 572, correct? This is going to be equal to 5720. That's it. And 9 will be the remainder. I hope you understood. So this is one way. Let me put this in bracket because this was our rough work. Okay, this is my rough work. Okay, and at the same time to find the reverse, we also have to take 5729. Okay, divide by 10. Okay, divide by 10. If actually you divide 5729 by 10, what will happen? आपको दोनों लेना होगा. You have to take the modulus. That means you have to check the remainder also. And then you will also have to check the quotient. But people, if you divide by 10, you know what is the answer? 572.9. Am I right? 572.9. Now what I wanted to do here is look from 5729. If 9 remains as a remainder, what is the remaining part of the number? Only 572. So we want just this part. Okay, but if I try to divide by 10, I get the answer in point. So what we will do, we will take the floor value. That is math.floor. Okay, and we understand math.floor and math.ceiling. The nearest integer on the left side of the scale of 572.9 will be 572. So this is going to be 572. Is it okay? Fine. So this is what will happen in iteration number 1. Okay, so if you divide any number by 10, remainder is always the last digit. This is what we demonstrated. Now the next number to be divided by 10 will be 572. Am I right? See, once we take the modulus of a number from 10, then we try to divide the number by 10. Now again repeat the same thing with 572. If you are confused, your doubt will be getting clearer now. Iteration by iteration, your doubt will keep getting clearer. Again divide 572 by 10. 10 into 57, that is 570, 570. 10 into 57, people, 570, 570. And 2 will be the remainder, correct? Now divide 572 by 10. So if you do this way, your answer will be 57.2, correct or not? And we don't prefer the number this way. We want it in a whole number. So to ensure answer is a whole number or not, make sure you take after dividing floor value of the answer, correct? So 57.2 ka floor value will be 57. I hope you're understanding floor value, correct or not? Fine. चलिए. So आप देखते जाओगे, you will see one by one the number is coming out. Out of 5729, we first extracted 9. Then we divided the number by 10 and made the next number for division ready. That is 9 गया. बाकी का number अगला division में जाएगा, correct? Those who don't understand Hindi, people, 9 remained as a remainder. The rest part of the number will go into the next iteration of the loop to be divided by 10. That is 572. Repeat the same thing here again. From 572, 2 remained as a remainder. Now we want remaining part of the number to go in the next iteration of the loop. That is 57, correct? So that is what we made 57 ready. Come on, in the next part of the loop, divide again 57 by 10. If you divide 57 by 10, tell me what is the remainder. 10 5s are 50. 10 5s are 50. 7 remains as a remainder. So you see from this number 57, 7 remained as a remainder. Now what part of the number left? Just 5. So we have to make that part to be ready. If I divide 57 by 10, answer will actually be 5.7. But you want a whole number, so better take a floor value. Am I right? Better take a full floor value. So the nearest integer on the left side of the scale to 5.7 will be 5. Is that okay? Fine. So you see out of 5729, how many numbers have come out? 9, then 2, then 7, and then last number is going to come out. I'll show you how. That will be 5. So we are very close to get reverse of the number. Are you getting it? Although this program is not completed as of, but this is the 80% of the logic. Come on. 5 divided by 10. What is the remainder? 5 only. Is that correct? People, 5 doesn't go into 10. 5 is not divisible by 10. So 10 zeros are 0 and 5 remains, correct or not? 10 zeros are 0. People, 5 remain. 5 is not divisible by 10. So 10 zeros are 0 and 5 remains. So 5 is a remainder. And if you divide 5 by 10, people, if you divide 5 by 10, what will happen? It will be 0.5. Correct? But this is again a number in decimal. We won't appreciate that. So to make it a whole number after division, we will take floor value of the answer. Come on, the nearest number, whole number on the left side of the scale to 0.5 will be 0. Is that okay? So ये हमको कब तक करते जाना है? Till the time number becomes 0. You see, we start dividing number from 10. Am I right? So 579 first got divided by 10. Then it became 572. Then it became 57. Then when you divide 5 by 10, it eventually became 0. Now, of course, I cannot take this next number 0 and divide by 10. That doesn't make sense. The answer will be again 0. So better we have to stop here. Okay, I would be glad if someone acknowledge in the chat section. Is this much part of the logic clear? Hurry up, people, be little fast. Be little fast. Is this much part of the logic very clear to you? No? Wasim, Rakesh, Bharat, Saikiran, Navin. Okay, clear. Fine. Thank you. Akila. Okay, thank you. Alright. Fine. Now, actually, you see, guys, thoda dhyan dijiye. If you see actually here, you are getting these digits out. 9 is out. Okay. And then after that, 2 is out. See, you're getting digits in the reverse order out. Correct? 9. Then 2. Then again you divide by 10, check the remainder 7. Again you divide by 10, check the remainder 5. But unfortunately these are digits and not a single number. 9275, correct or not? Fine, so we have to apply some formula here and take this remainder and keep forming it as a digit. You got my point? Fine, so what is this logic? Let me show you. ये लॉजिक कैसे काम करता है? See, take an example of any number. Let's take an example of 6, 7, 8, 9. Am I right? Whatever is the number, always consider there is 0 behind. Always consider. Right? How any number is formed as per algebraic rule, you know. Come on. 0, people, 0. Let me write it here. 0 into 10. How much? 0. Plus next number, that will form what? 6, correct? Now again 6 into 10, how much? 60, plus next number, that is 7, how much? 67. People, keep helping me either by speaking at your end or by writing in the chat section, please. आगे बताते जाइए how these numbers have taken up the places of thousands and hundreds and lakhs or tens and units. You got my point? 679, how becomes 679? So there must be some places of hundreds and units and tens, correct? 1024, how becomes 1024? So each digit we multiply by 10 and add the adjacent digit to it. So tell me 67, how will become 678? So the same 67 when multiplied by 10, how much? 670, 670, correct? My friend, the Learn with AK has written the 67 into 10. That is 670. Who is the next number after that? 8. So 670 plus 8 becomes 678. Good, my friend, good. Thank you, plus 8. Thank you for writing that in the chat section. चलिए तो यहाँ तक नंबर बन गया आपका 678. Now how come 678 has become 6789? Continue. 6788 into 10 plus बाजू वाला number, that is 9. So I write here 6780 plus 9, that is nothing but 6789. Is that clear? Fine. So now apply this logic here in half a minute, quick. Good. Thank you very much. Thank you, Navin, for that. Everyone who writing in the chat section. in this first iteration when we took the remainder 9 out, assume that we have kept some variable rev up whose value is 0. So in every loop what are we doing? Rev is equals to rev into 10 plus remainder. You understood this formula? Who is rev? This is our own declared variable whose value is right now 0. Am I right? Because you try to understand how 9 became 9, because 9 के पहले हमने 0 assume किया, correct or not? 0 into 10, 0 plus 9. So first number will be formed by multiplying 0 into 10, correct? So let us initialize rev to 0. 0 into 10 plus remainder. The first remainder is 9. Am I right? So that will become 9. I am writing here 0 into 10 plus 9. This is going to give us 9. Come on. The same formula then again will be applied in the next loop. Reverse is equals to reverse into 10 plus remainder. Is that okay? Continue, people. Give me the dry run here. Now what is the current value of the reverse? Reverse has become 9 in the previous loop. Am I right? This is going to happen in loop number 1. Come on. This will happen in loop number 1. This will happen in loop number 2. Am I right? But from loop number 1, what was the value of reverse? Reverse was 9. So 9 into 10. Hurry up. 9 into 10 plus remainder. But who is the remainder in the second iteration? 2. So 9 tens are 90. 90 plus 2 will give me 92. So number form up till now is 92. Come on. This is going to be the third loop. This is going to be the third loop. How the number will work? Reverse is equals to reverse into 10 plus remainder quick. So what is reverse up until now? Till the second loop or end of the second loop? 92. So 92 into 10 plus remainder. Remainder from the third iteration came out to be 7. That means 920. Now so be is 920 plus 7 is going to give us 927. Is that okay? This is going to be the fourth loop. What is the formula? Reverse is equals to reverse into 10. Reverse is the name of my variable. Instead of rev, you can give any other name. That's hardly going to make a difference. Plus remainder. Am I right? What is the value of reverse up until now? 927. So 927 into 10 plus remainder. Remainder is 5. Am I right? So that means 5. So here finally 9275. Am I right? So this is the expected output that we want to print. 9275. Thank you, Naveen. Correct. Good. Good, my friend. Good. Right? I would be very glad if people could acknowledge us in the chat section. Is this part crystal clear to all of us, right? If you can reverse the number, means you know how to separate the digits from the number, correct? Once you know how to separate the digits from the number, with this logic, you can also find sum of the digits, number is an Armstrong number or not, and so on and so forth. Yes or no? Fine. So let us put everything this now, or all this logic into a program. It seems to be a lengthy, complicated work, but when you write the code of it, it is hardly 3 to 4 lines of code, correct? So please let's check whether this is working or not. Okay. Okay, let me not call this function prime. Let us create another function. Let's take function reverse. Okay, function reverse. Once again, I hard code a number. Let's take number is equals to same number 5279. Okay, you aren't going to do that. Bharat Singh clearly understood. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for that. Guys, आप ऐसा हरगिज नहीं करेंगे. I am doing it because we are working under a time constraint. Is it clear? I've clearly shown you some 2-3 lectures ago how to take input as argument in a JavaScript function from a text box of HTML control. Correct? You will be working that way. Chaliye. So number is equals to so and so. Let me take some 2 variable. Remainder is 0. Reverse is also 0. Is that okay? Fine. Okay, I'm making use of while loop. I'm making use of while loop because the reason why, let me tell you, I don't know how many iterations we have to take in order to reverse the number. Even if you know, then you have to sit and count the number of digits in it. Say 4 digit, 4 iteration, 5 digit number, 5 iteration, 10 digit number, 10 iteration. Is it right? So if you don't want to put yourself into such big hurdle, let's take while number is not equal to 0. Am I right? Because number एक time पर 0 बनने वाला है people. You see 10 से divide होते होते, you check after dividing by 10, I think I erased that point from here. So the number remained was 5. Now in the fifth loop, if you divide 5 by 0, 5 by 10. So what is the number here? It's 0 actually. The remainder is 0, correct? Yeah. I think I need not to. It has already become 0 here. You check, it's mentioned here. Is that correct? So that doesn't make sense. Right? तो जब तक 10 से divide होते होते number 0 ना बन जाए, my friends, you don't understand Hindi. Dividing by 10 until number doesn't become 0, correct or not? तब तक करते रहो ये काम. What to do? Divide the number by 10 and store the remainder in some variable. चलिए divide the number by 10 and store the remainder in some variable. Okay, form the number. Come on, keep forming the number also with that formula. Reverse into 10 plus remainder. Those who love to use shortened formula, they can do that also. Plus equal to. Since we have not yet taught shorthand operators, that's why I refrain to use them. Okay, my friends who know how to use the shorthand operator, they are free to do that, please. Is it right? And the number is equals to number divided by 10. Am I right? Because we have to make the we have to reduce the number in the next iteration, correct or not, people? Right? Number is right now 5279. Arey, but agla iteration mein it should become 527. Then it will become 52. Then it will become 5. Then it will become 0. So ye kaise hoga? How will it happen? You have to keep dividing it by 10 until it reduce and becomes 0, correct? Fine. But just dividing by 10 will not be enough. Come on, just dividing by 10 will not be enough. You have to take the floor value. So that's the reason we write here math.floor. Is that okay? Fine. After coming out of the while loop, just print document.write. Say reverse of NO is REV. Am I right? Reverse of NO is REV. Because the reverse number we have stored in REV once we come out of this loop, right or not, people? Chaliye. So what to do next? Let's call this function. The function is a reverse. Let's call this function. I save this. I come here. Okay. For some reason, guys, I actually don't want to show you this part. Let me write like this. I wanted to ask you that question. Reverse is REV. Yes. So reverse is 9725. Correct? 9725. So if I change this number to 123, reverse is 321. Last, if I change this number to 7870, something like that, it is 7980. I hope you got my point. That is 798. Am I right? 0 is gone, people. That is 798. I hope you are understanding that. So if I change this number as 111, the reverse is also 111. Am I right, people? Now my problem is what, see, 111 is a palindrome, because even if I reverse, I'm going to get 111 only, right? So what if the number is 121? The reverse is also 121. What if the number is 1331? The reverse is also 1331. Such numbers are called as a palindrome. Once we learn array, most probably we are starting arrays from tomorrow. So once we learn array, you will come to know even there are some strings who are palindrome. Like most of my friends must be aware, the string mom, people, mom. If you reverse mom, you still get mom. Yep, correct. You reverse dad, you still get dad. Another Malayalam. Malayalam. Check. Reverse and check. It is still Malayalam. Malayalam. Yep. So even if you reverse Malayalam, it is still Malayalam. So such strings are also called as a palindrome. Am I right? So if you want to find a number is a palindrome or not, you just have to extend one more thing here. That means if number is equal to reverse of that number, print, or let me say document.write. It's a palindrome. Otherwise, write, it's not a palindrome. Correct? It's not a palindrome. Not a palindrome. Alright, people, for those who are accepting it, my code, those who are accepting this logic, there is a very big flaw in it. Try to figure it out. Let me run the output and show you. You say if original number is equal to reverse of the number means it is palindrome, otherwise it is not a palindrome. Let's check. Come on, let's check. Come here. 1331, not a palindrome, but it should be palindrome. Check. If I change my number as, guys, if I change my number as, I'm sorry for that, 121. So even if I reverse 121, it's going to be 121 only. But it says me 121 is not a palindrome. Got it? Fine. Okay, now what's the point here? Can you tell me what there's something wrong here? I would like to wait for a moment if someone can write in the chat section. Where am I exactly going wrong in the logic? I highlighted and gave you the hint there, people. I have highlighted and gave you the hint there. You look, where am I exactly going wrong in the logic? Anybody who would like to pinpoint? No, math.floor is right. My friend, there is nothing in math.floor. Bharat and Navin. I don't require math.floor to find out number is palindrome or not. Math.floor ideally we use to make a floating point number as a whole number. Guess what is the logic here? For those who have done this question in assignment, come on, tell me, how did you implement the logic of palindrome? आपने कहा आपने असाइनमेंट क्वेश्चन किया है, तो फिर ये कैसे किया? Okay, fine. Now let me tell you. Come on, quick. See, we are checking number is equal to reverse of the number, correct? But when you come out of the while loop, girls and boys, come on. When you come out of the while loop, the poor number after getting divided by 10 in each iteration has become 0 outside, correct or not? Exactly. See, now you're coming to the point. Am I right? The number is not equal to reverse. That's what Bharat answered there. But again, my question is, why it is not equal to reverse? 121 is the number I initialize. Am I right? Reverse is also 121. Then why two are not equal? Unfortunately, after coming out from the while loop, the number no more remained 121. It became 0, correct? Because it became 0, the condition went false, right or not? Now, there are many ways to deal with this situation. One good way could be to take a backup of this number. Say NO1 is equals to NO. Am I right? Before this number gets updated in the while loop iterations, make sure you have taken the backup of this number in some other local variable as well. Right? So instead of NO, who will always be pure and never update itself, let me check reverse is equal to REV NO1. Yes, 1 to 1, it is palindrome. Let me give some break here. Okay, 1 to 1. Yes, it is palindrome. But if I change the number as 1231 or 123. Okay, 1231. What is the reverse of the number 1321? Sorry, 1321 is not a palindrome. Correct. And if I change the number as 2772, so that is again 2772 and it is a palindrome. Is that correct? People, please acknowledge in the chat section. Is this concept clear or not? Palindrome होकर भी हमको क्यों ऐसे बताता है? We know very well the number is a palindrome. Then still why? Am I right? I was trying to tell you the same thing. Matter if you reduce the original number. Okay, fine, Bharat. Then it's fine. Is it okay? I think I understood it in some other way then. Alright. But I hope this logic is again clear to all of you. Then, there could be another way also. Instead of NO, make some other variable here and so on. But remember one thing, if you're dividing the number by 10, taking its floor value and storing it back in the same variable NO, it's going to be updated, right or not? Fine. Alright, so this is how we have checked a number is a palindrome or not. Now for those of my friends who haven't touched the assignments at all, please try to complete the remaining questions which I couldn't do today due to time restriction. Like sum of the number of digits, reverse of the number I have done, and number is an Armstrong number or not. Okay, by tomorrow please keep these two programs done. Sum of the number of digits and the number is an Armstrong number or not. And for those who have already done this, I shall be sending you some other standard questions for assignment. If you can do, well. If you cannot do not get panic. We have a lot of time here together to spend online and live. Okay, we'll see as much of this program that we can solve live session made together. Is it okay? Very clear, ma'am. Thank you everyone. Good work, good job. Alright, mostly after loops we are going to work with arrays and strings and date in JavaScript. Arrays, strings and dates, that will again take time. Again, to remind you some few points, our bootstrap is left to be done. A small part of CSS is yet left to be done. Okay, that's again left to be done. Alright, fine. Okay, for those who have joined us for the first or second time today, make sure that you have completed the rest of the lectures of the series as well. Okay, alright. Let me quickly send you the link of the attendance. The attendance link is valid up until 5:30. 5:30 तक की link काम करेगा. So make sure that you are fulfilling it. Yes, Navin, I'll do that. Okay, I'll do that, my friend. Let a lot of logic based program, I'll do that. Okay. One program I have sent on the group last week when the lecture was cancelled. Do you remember? Take 4 numbers from the user. Have you done that? It's a very good program. That's again a very good program. Like input 4 numbers from the user. Okay. And display the highest 4-digit number which can be formed out of it. For example, if the user inputs the number as 7, 9, or let me say 6, 4, 8. Okay, now what is the highest 4-digit number which can be formed from this? 8, 7, 6, 4. Am I right? Highest 4-digit number. Right? Similarly, if the program was of 3-digit and then somebody enters the number as 8, 8, 5. Or let me write like this: 5, 8, 8. So highest 4-digit number which can be formed could be 8, 8. Highest 3-digit. Okay, but the question is asking you for 4 numbers, so we don't have to talk about the example of 3 numbers. Is that okay? So for those who have done, try to do this one, and if you could do this also, then along with highest, try to find out lowest as well. Okay, what could be the lowest 4-digit number? If this was highest, the lowest would be, I think, reverse of this, is it? 4, 6, 7, 8. Check whether the reverse ka logic works with that or not. Okay, every time it might not be true also. You check with it whether the reverse logic works or not. Okay, so accept 4 numbers from the user as input and return on the screen the highest 4-digit number which can be formed out of it. Is that okay? Fine. Alright, if there's no doubt from your end, I shall see you back tomorrow once again at 4 p.m. Till then, stay connected, keep practicing. We understand you have a tough time, busy time back at your places, learning, studying, working, whatever you're doing, but 4-5 months of time and dedication put in will make you learn a skill altogether. Is it okay? Fine, we have entire React JS coming up, Python, SQL, Django framework all waiting up in a queue for a line. Okay, goodbye, take care.